Hello everyone, it's Kathleen Kennedy steps down this month. Dave Filoni and Lynn Bryn take the reins at Lucasfilm. I don't know who Lynn Bryn is. I'll look him up later in this video, but mostly I know who Dave Filoni is. Dave Filoni, I'm going to be real here. Filoni has had hits and misses. And we don't know how much we can attribute to him or put against him. Overall, Kathleen Kennedy might be a good thing might be a really good thing for the Star Wars brand. Well, sorry, the Disney Star Wars brand. Because Lucasfilm has not been performing well. Like at all. The Lucasfilm bland, it's the bland. The Lucasfilm bland has not been doing well. Here's the best take to take away from this. It's too early to know how this is going to shape out. They might change their mind. She might change her mind. Might come back. She might stay. Dave Filoni might quit or be really good at the role, or yeah. But let's read the art. According to Puck's Matt Billon, over the next week or two, Disney will make official what's been an open secret for quite some time now. Kathleen Kennedy is leaving. Her position as president of Lucasfilm, with Dave Filoni set to take the throne. Filoni, the current CCO of the Star Wars operation, has long been positioned as her heir apparent because he hasn't exactly ever fit the mold of studio exec. Lucasfilm will pair him with Lynn Bryn, the company's president and GM of the business side. Still, make no mistake, Filoni will be the head honcho of franchise creative future, overseeing Star Wars across film and television. Filoni's resume: after episodes of Avatar: The Last Airbender in the aughts, he was tasked with Lucas overseeing television film like Star Wars, Clone Wars, more. He is creator and executive producer of and writer of Disney Plus series like Ahsoka. Served executive producer as the Mandalorian, the Book of Boba Fett, Skeleton Crew. Okay, like I said before, some of that is hits and misses. Boba Fett, the Book of Boba Fett. I'm going to be real with you, man. Boba Fett was the coolest Star Wars character, hands down. And that is probably the most hated Disney Plus show, hands down. The fact that you were able to do that boggles the mind. But then there's The Mandalorian. And The Mandalorian seems pretty good. And Skeleton Crew, I've heard good things about it. I haven't seen it. I saw one episode of it. I was like, oh, okay. I thought it was more for kids, and I didn't really follow up with it. So, yeah, I just watched one episode. I was like, oh, that's sweet. That's a nice family-friendly thing. Overall, I don't know how much control he had over that, or how much of the mistakes were his or was other people. To be honest, I'm not sure about Dave Filoni. Some people hate him, and I get it. This era of Lucasfilm has not been great. It's been terrible, in fact. Many have attributed that Star Wars is in fact dead, and honestly, I can't come up with a solid argument to dispute that. So, we're just going to just leave it at Disney Star Wars needs to be rebuilt from the ground up. Now, can Dave Filoni pull this off? It's too early, but let's read on. There hasn't been a Star Wars movie released since 2019, The Rise of Skywalker, that will change this year when Jon Favreau's The Mandalorian and Grogu hits. That's another thing. Most people attributed The Mandalorian to Jon Favreau. Hits theaters in May. Nobody's really sure if this film will prove to be a success, but a hit movie is what Lucasfilm needs right now. That's an understatement. They desperately need it. Over the past 7 years, Lucasfilm has become a revolving door of Star Wars announcements. Yeah, they made thousands of announcements. They've stuck to very little of them, many of which never made it past press release stage. Projects came and went, often quietly shelved, painting a picture of a studio in disarray. Kennedy seemed to have lost the plot. The bright spot? She managed to turn Andor into a critical and commercial... Okay. Let's not attribute Andor to her success, okay? And commercial success? It didn't do too well. People loved it. Those who watched it, but not everybody watched it because I'm going to be 100% with you. It's not Star Warsian. It doesn't have that fantasy element that made Star Wars so much fun as the fantasy mixed with sci-fi. It makes Star Wars feel very unique, and it was one of the things. And it lacked that, and it had bits and pieces of that fantasy element here and there, but it's not the same thing as a Jedi, a Sith, the Force, and all that stuff. Like, they really missed the boat by not making Luke Skywalker the head of a new Jedi Order and a new Sith Order springing up, a new Sith Empire springing up, because that would have been a cool idea that would have added so much to the lore, to the world of Star Wars, to the universe of Star Wars. Instead, they got, well, what the heck the sequel trilogy was. But beyond that, it's been a rough stretch, and we're reading on, with only that series standing out as a legitimate creative win in the otherwise shaky tenure. Wow. I cannot disagree. Yes, J.J. Abrams' Force Awakens hit $2 billion at the box office in 2015, but then came the sequel, Last Jedi, which earned $1.3 billion, much due to fans turning out because of liberties its filmmakers Rian Johnson took with the lore built by George Lucas. The trilogy capper, Rise of Skywalker did... I'm sorry, I mispronounced that, guys. Sometimes I say things too quickly, and I make mistakes. Everyone makes mistakes. I'll state the name properly. The Rise of Palpatine did even less, earning $1 billion, which was 50% less than The Force Awakens. Trilogies are supposed to pick up steam in each ensuing installment, but this one deflated in real time. If anything, the best Star Wars movie released during the Kennedy's tenure, in opinion that seems to be consensus among the fan base, was Guthrie Edwards' Rogue One, which was ironically born out of a troubled production. Tony Gilroy was brought in the heavy reshoots with that after Edwards' initial cut reportedly didn't meet Disney Plus tonal expectations, and yet the film defies the odds. Dark and morally gray, grounded and it wasn't really morally gray, but whatever. Captured by one of the best endings in the franchise, a climax that actually meant something. Kennedy now leaves 7 Star Wars movies in development. What? Hell? Yeah, they put in like hell with a question mark. Dude, yeah, that's... Realistically, that's not good. But let's finish up. From directors Filoni, Simon Kindler, James Mangold, Sherman Obey-Chinoy, Donald Glover, Taki Wakita, and Patty Jenkins. Oh my. I'm going to let you guys in on a little secret. Well, not a secret, but kind of a fact at this point. A lot of those movies that were announced most likely going to get canceled. And the reason I say most of them are going to get canceled, we haven't heard anything about them. We just heard about the director, and we just heard about the name of the project, and that they're working on it. So they can easily just pull the plug right here, right now, with the new changing of the guard. I'm not saying Dave Filoni is ill-equipped. I'm just saying, okay, I'm just going to take it from my perspective. Even if this is true, and I'm not saying it's false or they're not going to go through with it. I'm just saying, at this point in time, I am not interested in watching anything from the Disney Star Wars brand at the moment. Not in the theaters, not in my own room, on television, not with my friends at their houses or rooms or whatever. I'm not interested in watching Star Wars. I'm not interested in playing any video games from Disney Star Wars. Well, just a few sessions. I'll play a few games, but not really. I have no interest in any Star Wars paraphernalia. I'm sort of done with Star Wars at the moment. I hate it. It's just I want to see them try and fix this very damaged brand. People have been calling it a dead brand. I want to say a caveat. Maybe you should just call it a severely damaged brand. Well, that doesn't get headlines. It's not catchy. But it's a severely damaged brand. They really, really need to fix things. A lot of people have been talking about these different movies that are coming out and that they're just straight up canceling. So nobody knows what you're doing. Nobody knows what you're thinking. And to be perfectly honest, you really need to get a win right now. So I hope that the Mando and Grogu movie does okay. Because you'll at least have something to point to. But here's the problem with it doing okay. It needs to do phenomenal in order to start rebuilding the brand back. And doing just okay is just holding onto what you have. That might be better than failing. So, we'll see how that does. Okay. She's known for Iron Man, Battleship, Star Trek, Day After Tomorrow. Not a bad resume. This started in 1990 as a role technical area leader. Computer graphics. Okay. Warrior commander. Excellent. Order of British Empire on behalf of the American. Enjoying 10 years of experience in visual software and holds a science at university. Okay, she's received honorary degree of science. Okay. I don't know how to say this, but her resume looks okay on paper. But I don't know, this doesn't tell me much if she can really bring home the bacon with a massive franchise. Well, you can't do worse. Alright, that does it for this video. I'll catch you guys in the next one.